In this video, we are going to do 3 questions from the chapter Sequence and Series, class 11th, based on geometrical progression. So let's begin with the first question. In the first question, it says sum of the terms of a GP is 315, whose first term and the common ratio is R5 and 2 respectively. We have to find the last term and the number of terms. Now check here. We know the formula for the sum of first n terms, right? We know Sn here. We can first write on what information we have. We have Sn as 315. Later it says the first term, right? The first term, which is A here. So we can say that A is 5. The common ratio, that is we have common ratio R as 2. So R is equal to 2. Now let's plug in these values on the symbols. So we have Sn. So I can write first. So if I write down the formula, Sn is equal to, that is A bracket R raised to the power n minus 1 over R minus 1. Replacing Sn with the value that is 315 is equal to A, which is 5, R, which is 2 raised to the power n minus 1, and that divided by R minus 1. R is 2, so 2 minus 1. Now in the next step, what you can observe that I can transpose this 5 to the other side, and this becomes 2 raised to the power n minus 1. As you know, 2 minus 1 is 1, so we can ignore this thing. Now if I reduce, I can see this is divisible, and 5 1 times, 5 6 times, 5 3 times. So we get this as 63 here, and if I transpose minus 1 to the left hand side, that gives us 2 raised to the power n. So this is what 64 is equal to 2 raised to the power n, and this is what 2 raised to the power 6, I suppose. Yes. So we can say n is equal to 2. So once we get the value of n, I can see we had to find the number of terms. So we got it. Now let's figure out. There is one more thing that they have asked for, that is find the last term. So what is the last term? The last term is n, right? Nth term is what we consider as the last term, because we don't know the value of, yeah, the last term they are asking. So let's say if I find an here, an is what? A r raised to the power n minus 1. This is r is what? Sorry. This is 6, right? On comparing both sides, n is 6. So last term, they mean to say the sixth term has to be, because there are 6 number of terms. So this is what we are getting. So replacing n with 6 is a6, a which we have been given. So I'm replacing this with 5, r which we know as 2, raised to the power n is what? 6. So it's 6 minus 1, that is 5. So this is 5. 2 raised to the power 5 is 32. So their product will be 160. So we can say the last term, by that they mean to say the sixth term, as there are 6 number of terms. So therefore the last term has to be 6th term. And that's the answer for the next part, that is last term. And we have already calculated the number of terms. So the number of terms here is 6, and the last term which we got as, the last term as 160. In the next question, it says the sum of first term, no, the first term, right? The first term is given, not sum. First term of the GP is given as 1, and the sum of the third and the fifth term is given as 90. And what we have to find out is the common ratio. Now let's write down the GP here. We can take the GP, let's say A be the first term, second as AR, third as AR square, and the fourth as AR raised to the power 3, and the fifth as AR raised to the power 4. Now in the first part, it is given that the first term is what? 1. So I can replace A with 1, or I can say A is equal to 1. Further, it says the sum of the third and the fifth term is 90. So the third term, as you can see in order, is this, and this is the fifth term. So I can say, according to question, this is AR square plus AR raised to the power 4 is equal to 90. As you can see, A is 1. On replacing A here with 1, 1 into R square is R square, and 1 into R raised to the power 4 is R raised to the power 4 only, is equal to 9. Let's see if I write down in the standard form, this is r raised to the power 4 plus r square minus 90 equal to 0. Now we can say this can be solved by using quadratic equation. So what I'm doing in order to simplify this, I'm considering r square to be y, let's say, or put r square is equal to y. So this is what? R square whole square. This is r power 4. I repeat, r square as y, then r power 4 will be y square. Plus this is what? Y, because this is r square, right? Minus 90 equal to 0. Now next I'm going to do middle term splitting here. I'm going to split this middle term. Middle term which is here is what? Y. So I can write down this as, this is y square, and y can be from the factors of 90, right? I can write 90 as 10 into 9, and their difference is 1. So this is what I'll do. This I'll write down as 10 times y minus 9 times y minus 90 equals 0. When I take common, y as common, so it's y plus 10. And when I take minus 9 common, we again get y plus 10 equals 0. So we have now y minus 10, 9 and y plus 10 equals 0. So we have y minus 9 equals 0, or we can say y min plus 10 equals 0. Now check here. Here y is equal to minus 10 and this side y is equal to 9. So we have taken y square, y as r square. So replacing y with r square, we say r square is equal to 9, and this is r square is equal to minus 10. This is not possible. As you know, square of a number cannot be negative, right? So this is discarded. So we are left with this only. And what I can say on transposing, I can say that r is equal to plus minus 3. I think we have to find the common ratio only. So we got it. Now let's move to the third question. Now, in the third question of this sequence or the order I have taken, it says the sum of the three terms of a GP is 56. So before reading the further, let's take the three terms as A, AR, and AR square, as you know. Should be the first three terms of a GP, and the sum is given. So this is A plus AR plus AR square is given as how much? 56. Now, as I read it further, it says that if you subtract 1, 7, and 21 from these numbers in order, we obtain an arithmetic progression. So that means if I subtract, it says if I subtract 7 from the first, right? And then, no, 1 from the first, right? It is 1 from the first and 7 from the second and 21 from the third. So this becomes a AP. So this is an arithmetic progression. So what we know that in an arithmetic progression, thus twice of this will be equal to sum of this and this. Or you may do like this. That is, let me show what I mean to say. What we know that if ABC are in AP, so we know that B minus A is equal to C minus B. So this way we can say 2B is equal to A plus C. That's what I'm going to say here. So if I do so, that means we can say middle term, twice the middle term should be equal to the sum of the first and last. AR square minus 21 plus, right? So A minus 1 plus first and last term. Right. So from here we got this relation. Now if I simplify it further, it's 2AR minus 14 is equal to what is that? I write in order. That's AR square plus A, and this is minus 22, I suppose, minus 1 and minus. Now simplifying this, what I'm going to do here, I'm keeping the constant on the left hand side. So it's minus 14 and plus 22, right? Minus 14 plus 22 should give you how much? 8, right? And I'm keeping this right hand side AR square, and this will give you minus 2AR from here and plus A. Now, by flipping the order, I can write AR square minus 2AR plus A, right, is equal to 8. Now, what I'm going to do is to divide these two equations, that is the first and second. Now, let's say if I divide these two equations, what we are going to get, the first equation is AR plus AR square, and that divided by second equation, which is AR square minus 2AR plus A. And this is what? 56 over 8. So now this is divisible by 7 times. If I take A common from here, as I can see, A is common from the numerator as well as denominator. So if I take A common from here, what do we get? We get 1 plus R square. Below it is R square minus 2R plus 1. And this is 7 over 1. This gets reduced. Now I'm doing cross multiplication. So 7 multiplied by this. So this is what? 7R square minus 14R plus 7. On the other side, we have only R square plus R and what? Plus 1. So like terms, 7R square minus R square is what? 6R square. So this is 6R square. This is minus 14 and minus 1. So it'll give you minus 15R. And this is 6. 7 minus 1 is 6 equals 0. What I'm doing is taking 2 common, right? I'm taking 2 common here. 2, no, there's 3 common, right? 3 common from here and transposing to the other side. It becomes 2R square minus 5R plus 2 equals 0. Now I'll do middle term splitting. I'll split this middle term, that is 15, from the factors of 2 into 2, 4. So 4 I can write as 4 into 1. That's what we'll do here. So this is 2R square, and I'll split minus 5. As I said, it is minus 4R and minus R plus 2 equals 0. Common between first two term is 2R, so it's R minus 2. Common between last two term is minus 1, so again it is R minus 2 equals 0. Finally, it is R minus 2 and 2R minus 1 equals 0. Now over here we can get the value of R. So what you can see that if I equate this with 0, I'll get R is equal to 2. And if I equate this with 0, you'll get R is equal to half. But that's not the end of this sum. As you can see, we have to find the numbers. That means these numbers. For that, we need A as well. So what I'll do, I'll obtain A by replacing R, right? So we have to replace R with 2 as well as with half. So let's do one at a time. For example, if I replace here R by 2, so that is 2 here, that is 2 square is 4. So this is 4 times A minus replacing this with 2, positive 2, right? So this is 2 into 2 is 4. So it's minus 4A plus A equals 8. So what do we get here? I'm getting A as 8. I'm getting A as 8. Now check here. Once we got the value of A, I'll erase this portion. Once we obtain the A, now I can frame the GP. A, which is 8, AR. Now once again, I'll tell you that we have found A as 8 when R is 2. So I can replace this value, that is placing A as 8. And in the next part, placing A as 8, 8 into 2, 16. And placing this A here, that is 8 multiplied by R square, 8 into 2, 4. That is 8 multiplied by 4 is 30. Yeah, 2 square is 4, 4 into 8. Yeah, that's 32. Now clearly this is a GP, where R is 2. Now as we have obtained R, we have to frame the other GP. This time we have to replace R with half here. So that again I can do. Let me replace this only. and obtain the R. So let's say if I take A common and replacing R with half, so half square is how much? That is 1 by 4 minus 2 times A is taken common and R is what? 1 by 2, right? We have taken R as 1 by 2 plus 1 as we have taken A as common. So this get cancelled. This is minus 1 plus 1 get cancelled. So now A is what? 8 and this side it's 1 by 4, right? As you can see, this is minus 1 and 1 get cancelled. So we are left with 1 by 4 on transposing. With this, we are getting A as 32. Check here, we are going to obtain the second GP here, replacing A with 32. And let me once again tell you, A we are taking as 32 and R as half. So replace this A with 32. Now next is what? This is AR, A into R, that's 16. The third is what? A into R square. A is 32, R square is 1 by 4. 32 into 1 by 4, that's 8. So our answer will be these two, right? These two should be our answer in this case.